Ripple and XRP part of the Great Reset? We're going to find out at the end of this video.
I ain't gonna give in now. I think I gotta live this now. I'm gonna be when I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in the ring when I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the whip. Cause I am just up on the journey. You just know that I'm just going to say.
Warriors, rise. Grand rising and good evening, warriors all over the world. My name is Coach JB. I am the top health, mindset, crypto, and business coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained deep in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained deep in your subconscious mind becomes your unconscious activities, and eventually your reality. We're going to dive into this today. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you, is Ripple XRP truly part of the Great Reset? But I'm here to tell you, opposite of all these YouTubers, everybody's running to decentralization, but I'm here to tell you it's nothing new under the sun. If you know the game, you can't be played. As we look this way and we're all put in the Coliseum getting drunk off the wine, there's another narrative happening this way. This is nothing new in human history. Whoever controls the money, controls the information, controls the people. So people always have these moments where they think they're going sovereign. All of a sudden they get caught up back in the same monetary system, caught on the back end. We're switching from industrial to technical. This isn't like this just happened and cryptocurrency was just invented in 2009 with Bitcoin. These are long, thought out, methodical changes in a monetary system. So as you move to decentralization, they're catching you on the other side with regulation, and eventually all your cryptocurrency is going to end up in the same place. It's going to run through the system. So your job is to understand the rules and play the game within the rules. And the only way to change the game is to gain enough wealth. Elon Musk is a great example. Kanye West, whatever you believe, is a great example. They gained enough monetary wealth to be able to change the rules of the game. And now the system is changing. Congress is 70 years old and above. We are moving into a new era. If you can't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. There's a new era rising up. Okay. So the love of power is in play right now. And when the power of love is present, it overtakes the love of power. But that starts with you, not protesting, not arguing, not chasing people down, not causing arguments. It's removing the ego mind and getting down into the heart like Christ did. Christ came to abolish all the boundaries, not to raise religion up and create separation. Jesus came to abolish all the boundaries and get everybody out of their head and into the heart and see that we are all equal and loved by God. We all have the ability to rise up into higher consciousness and build heaven on earth. But that's not what you came here to hear today. You came here to hear crazy news and scary stuff, right? Because that's what we want to hear. But I'll tell you what, the sky is falling because it's always falling. And guess what? I'm going to catch it when it falls. So let's dive into what's actually happened in the cryptocurrency space. I am your awakened warrior out here reporting macro and microeconomics because I love this stuff because it's so neat to see when you actually rise up into Christ consciousness and you're down in your heart, you can sit back, get your popcorn and watch the game. But people say, well, why aren't you protesting, JB? Why aren't you out there trying to stop all the people? Because guys, you can't change anybody if you change yourself. Your ego does nothing for you. Your ego will always destroy you. Your ego will edge God out. It will edge good out. So let's dive into it. So first we're going to dive into, so at the end of this video, I'm going to show you Ripple is truly part of the Great Reset, warriors. I don't know how that makes you feel, but I'll tell you what, the Great Reset, you're not going to stop it. Okay. And everybody's like, we're running diesel. FTX collapsed. Celsius collapsed. Many other exchanges are going to collapse. Bitcoin is going to be a commodity. Ethereum that you thought was decentralized, or however you thought about Ethereum, Bitcoin and Ethereum were these saviors of the people and getting your own banking system. Well, guess what? Ethereum's been part of the banking system almost the whole time. So I'm just trying to teach you the game, warriors. So I know this is not favorable content. It's probably not going to go viral because it's not what people want to hear, right? Change the game, change yourself internally, get the money, and then change the information to change the people. Okay, let's dive into it. Okay, so we're going to watch a video here. So crypto regulation is a crazy conversation right now. The cool thing about it is it's getting national news all the time. And at the end of this video, I'm going to take you into why I think Ripple is part of the Great Reset.
Crypto regulation continue after the collapse of FTX. Joining us now is Sheila Bair, former chair of the FDIC. She's also an external director of Paxos, a blockchain technology company. It's good to see you, Sheila. It's been a while.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Nice to see you.
Thanksgiving, happy holidays. We're hearing that everybody's in their corners, as you can imagine, depending on whether you have a skin in the game on what all of this means. People are trying to say, well, there's crypto, and it's the same as the internet back in the late 90s. There was pets.com and there was Amazon, and they're a far cry from each other, and the underlying asset itself still has value. But then, or some of them may have value. But then you have, this was written today, Wall Street Journal, the eventual price of crypto's final price could be zero. Senator Warren, I think, thinks that much greater.
That's a really, really, really huge point, what he just talked about. They compared it to the dot-com days. Remember, they did the exact same thing. They resisted it, they sued it, regulated it, then they joined it. We're in the exact same process right now.
Government oversight is necessary. But if we had done that to the internet back then, there were calls for that when that collapsed in 99. That wouldn't have been the right move back then either. Where are you on this?
So I do think that, and Senator Warren has acknowledged that there may be potential good uses of the technology. I've always differentiated the asset from the technology that underpins the asset. And I do think the technology holds a lot of promise for socially beneficial uses, payments and settlement, clearing, tracking supply chains. There are a lot of interesting use cases that can and should be developed.
Boom. They just gave us a hint. Tracking, supply chain, movement of money. Those are the cryptos, the blockchain technologies that have real companies, real world solve. They're going to be part of the Great Reset, that are going to switch the monetary system. It's always been that way. That is why the SEC is suing Ripple to figure out the framework for regulation for America. FTX collapse is the catalyst, the black swan that actually Kevin O'Leary called out himself before FTX collapse. He called out his own demise of the own company that he was representing, which I thought was crazy. He said there'd be another black swan and then full regulation is coming in. Or maybe he was part of that. Who knows? Because he's the one that called that there would be another black swan that would push in regulation. After FTX collapses, he said he's getting on a plane and flying to Washington himself to bring in regulation warriors. And I'm telling you, there's a lot more things going on behind the scenes. I'm not going to play like these other YouTubers and say, guys, I'm being invited and involved in some big things that are happening. But I'm not going to sit here and brag and say I have all this stuff of worries. Trust me, there's big things happening behind the scenes, much bigger than you think. Don't get played.
The problem is most of this industry has just gone into speculative assets, and that works until it doesn't. A lot of it was driven by very low interest rates, cheap to borrow and take a flyer on crypto. So we're seeing that house of cards starting to collapse now. And, overall, I think those that don't have value, the market is punishing. And those that do have value, hopefully will be able to operate in a clear regulatory.
Boom. She just said it. She just gave you the hint. The ones that don't have clarity or don't have value, how'd she say it? Basically utility, right? Are going to get crushed. She said it. She said it to you. Sorry. I'm drinking my supplement here. Oh, it's the green screen is messing up. It has a crack in it. I just poured freaking supplement all over myself. That was awesome. She just gave you the hint. She told you the ones that have utility are going to survive. She told you which ones are going to survive. Oh, this is so much fun. Okay, let's keep going.
Environment to help, nurture the technology where it's socially beneficial and have regulations shut it down where it's not.
Okay, she just said it. Sorry, all over the place. I poured supplement all over the front of me. She just said where regulation is going to shut them down, where it's not present. Utility. Okay, let's dive a little bit further. Okay, so BlockFi lawyers, this is pretty exciting. I wanted to hear this because a lot of people I know personally lost a lot of money, and my prayers, my high energy is going out to you. You're going to get your money back. You're going to get your money back. I feel it. BlockFi lawyer tells bankruptcy court that the priority is to maximize client recoveries. Okay. So Charles Gasparino, I highly recommend you follow him on Twitter. He's all up on this, great reporter, because this is great for his career as well, because it's going to get him a lot of clout. Scoop one, Virtual Financial is suing the SEC, alleging Wall Street top cops has failed to comply with federal freedom information laws by not handling over documents related to Gary Gensler's agenda at the SEC, including his calendar of meetings detail people influencing. Okay. So guys, this is not about cryptocurrency, but Gary Gensler is under a lot of pressure, So Virtue sues the SEC to get more details on market structure overhaul. Trading firms say investors need to weigh possibilities of bias. U.S. agency is proposing new regulation for equity trading. So this is all the details on it right here. People are coming after Gary Gensler and the SEC. So we're literally, get your popcorn. You're watching a soap opera play out. When, think about this, I told you when Jay Clayton threw that lawsuit out against Ripple, and then he left to consult for a cryptocurrency fund, I told everybody in XRP, I'm holding on like a tick on a dog. As other influencers fudded you out of XRP, I'm like, it's worth the freaking risk, baby. I'm buying more. I started doubling down, and then I got to a point where I started diversifying into other cryptos. I held on like a tick on a dog because the risk is the ROI, the risk to reward, or return on investment based on the risk to reward is so high. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But the upside potential of not investing in a historical change was too radical for me. I'm like, absolutely not. But also, guys, I'm very diversified in crypto. I'm just a big fan of XRP Ripple because I love the company and the way it's run. I'm a business owner. I'm also diversified in business, leverage life insurance, precious metals. Okay. I'm not just in crypto. If crypto collapses, I'm going to be just fine. And that's what I teach my warriors. You can't just rely on crypto. That would be silly. That is not wealth building. That is not generational wealth building. Okay, so Tom Emmer, we are concerned in March that Gary Gensler was taking an indiscriminate and inconsistent approach to oversight in the crypto industry. Guys, they are after him. SEC Gary Gensler met with the head of the FTX months before the collapse. So everybody's putting pressure on Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC. I don't think he's going to survive this, to be honest with you guys. But I think he was put in place because he was the head professor of MIT. There's a connection to FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm not here to spend my time chasing anybody down or going through that stuff. Other YouTubers are doing that. They can handle that type of frequency, energy stuff. I'm talking to you guys about the game, man. I'm at a 30,000 foot overview, watching people in the Coliseum making moves outside the Coliseum as I see the Trojan horse coming in, if that makes sense. Okay. Now this is what I want to show you guys. Okay. September 21st, 2022, as all this stuff is going down, right? September, October, November, everything's just been a shit show. So New Crypto Sustainability Coalition. Now remember, Ripple is part of the World Economic Forum. Remember, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, is the board of trustee for the World Economic Forum to move the mission forward. New Sustainability Coalition to investigate potential of Web3 technologies in fighting climate change. I'm going to go deeper into this tomorrow, okay? But look at the companies that are involved in this new coalition, guys. Look at this. The coalition partners include Accenture, Avalanche, Avatree, CC Token, Circle. We know Circle's connected. Climate Collective, Crypto Council for Innovation, Emerge, Energy Web Foundation, eToro, EY, Flow Carbon, Heifer International, Climadio. Let's just jump to the ones that this Rainforest Partnership. And then we got Ripple, Solana, Stellar. Wow. The Global Brain, Tupon Protocol, University of Lisbon, and Zero Labs. So we got Ripple and we got XLM and Solana in here, guys. Not financial advice, but okay. So what would you do? Are you going to kind of chase? Look at Sam Bankman-Fried. Look at this, guys. Okay. So everybody went to get rich quick to a non-regulated thing, and you're getting smashed. Celsius, smashed. Stablecoin, smashed. So do you see what I'm saying? I'm not about having a one world economy. I'm not about control mechanisms, but warriors, you're being monitored right now. This has been happening slowly and methodically. Don't get played, warriors. Like, this is my favorite thing, and I know people put comments down there, but when the gentleman approached Jesus and said he had a coin in his hand, and he said, they were trying to discredit Jesus with his open awareness of trying to bring everybody into the Christ consciousness. He said, Jesus, because they were paying taxes to the Romans and all that stuff. He said, Jesus, who do we pay our taxes to? And he shows him a coin, and Jesus says, Whose face is on that coin? He says, Caesar. He says, pay your taxes to Caesar. What Jesus is saying in that moment, he's like, if you live in America, pay your taxes. You have a choice to move if you want to. You can move to Dubai and pay very little taxes. You can do all this dancing around and doing all this stuff, but you're wasting a lot of energy, So as everybody wastes their energy on all this egotistical stuff and all this other stuff, I'm building companies, warriors. I'm healing myself and becoming a better father. So I'm spending time on things that rise me into my Christ consciousness, and I'm sovereign here and I'm sovereign here. So you can take all my crypto, you can take all my businesses. Nothing changes. I'll rebuild like that. This is where it's at. This is where I train people here. This is what I've mastered, the bringing from the head and into the heart. And I've mastered my heart. That's why I can unconditionally love you without expectations, warriors. So I want to share this with you guys. This is a partner of our channel, Link2. This is the only people we've ever partnered with. Link2 is not a cryptocurrency. It is a company that has democratized private financing. It gives you the opportunity to make a choice on their platform to invest pre-IPO. This is not a crypto. It is the companies going public. So down below, you can click on Link2. If you're an accredited investor, many of you don't even know that you're an accredited investor. You can go through the process. If you're an accredited investor, you can invest in Ripple pre-IPO. Companies like Ripple, Polysign, huge companies. Ripple said they're going to IPO as soon as this case is over. Again, another opportunity to play like the big boys. These things used to only be available to people that were in elite circles. And that's what Link2 has done. So down below, surf around, check that out, warriors. I really appreciate you guys. I know these videos have been a little bit longer, but I just love doing this. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about you. I love you guys very, very much. I just don't want you to get played. That's the whole thing. I know there's a lot of sensationalism going on in the influencer space, guys. There's influencers being exposed, all this type of stuff. Always be true to you guys. You'll always get honesty, integrity, and uncompromising belief from me. That's it. This is who I am. You know, there's no act here. It's just me, man, raw coming at you. And this is why I can sustainably do this so consistently, is because this is who I truly am. I literally took what I did for a hobby and turned it into a business. And you can do the same thing. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, get your shit together. Let's go. Join the Warrior Academy. Love to see you in there.